Hey everybody, this is Inara Ariane Griffin holding one of my favorite crystals, and I think this is a very, very good example of what we consider the earth element to be. It's a solid rock. It was formed thousands of years ago, and it has a certain level of reality to it, like this is the way it will always be. What you're actually seeing in this crystal is formations shooting up through high temperatures, projecting out. They would have all been in movement, all of these things being in movement, these crystal structures. And then it cooled off and stopped in a formation. So I'm talking to you about the New Earth event, and I want you to think of New Earth as a movement, as formation, as non-symmetrical, as all of the speakers and influencers being like these projections that are moving out. If we had to solve the world's problems, we'd be a little bit like this. You don't have to take on every single aspect of the world's problems. You take on the one that you're called to doing and being with. You take on the one that's a calling deep within you. And if we had everybody doing that kind of thing and just focusing on their one area, we would be like this, all individually projecting into different areas of the world and being able to start to work together harmoniously. It doesn't look like symmetrical, like everybody doing the same amount of push and pull. It actually looks a bit like this. That this is what harmony looks like. It's all in different directions and it's all taking on different aspects of the work that needs to take place. So I'm giving you that as a representation because the gathering that is coming up starts on the 30th, which is a Saturday. We are going to open with some opening ceremonies the day before Halloween. I'm going to be doing the opening ceremonies. It will be a live section of the event. Every live that is taking place will be with some of the most incredible influencers and visionaries who are really speaking deeply right now into New Earth. They're one projectile crystal of the whole formation of us who are altering their specific teachings in time and space. And so when we open with the ceremonies, what we're going to do is we're going to step into the underworld. This is the day before Halloween, one of my favorite festivals of the 8 festivals of the year. Very ancient festival, and it has to do with a lot of assessment of where you're at, which is what we need to do with the earth right now, assessment of where we're at, and then going into a very deep space, which is the underworld, to nourish all the ideas, all the thoughts, all the feelings that are going on in order to create new seeds for the next season, which is springtime. And there is the winter solstice in between Imbolg and Samhain. So we start with Samhain, Halloween, and then there's this dark time, and it doesn't mean dark as in negative, it means deep, a deepening. So the opening ceremonies are going to take you into a deepening, perception, awareness, ability to step into the winter of your soul or the autumn of your soul and accept that, accept some of the shadow work that needs to be done. Then the other speakers that are coming in on this are just simply incredible. Many of them are involved with ceremony like myself. Christina Milano will be doing a whole Halloween on New Earth heart codes, opening your heart codes, because the language of the heart is what is going to change the way that we perceive things. There's Alex Impey, who is a property developer on a massive level and has come up with new ideas about how to create New Earth communities. And it's in harmony with Mother Earth. And it's in harmony with communities and what we need as people and tribes and communities to keep us happy and safe. In other words, not to live all with exactly the same kind of people. We need interaction. We need to see difference. We need to experience different ages, different abilities to buy. So for instance, some of his communities will involve ownership as in purchasing. Some will be rental at very different levels so that everybody can get in on the spectrum. It'll have open spaces where people can communicate and speak together and meet. It'll have healing spaces, health spaces. It'll have food spaces. So a very big visionary who's working with literally the production of a new kind of community. Then we've got Sally Shakti Willow, who is talking about writing in the New Earth. And imagine a whole different way of writing, and it's all based on the feeling and the coherence of messages. So it's not just the words you say, it's the frequencies that we're creating as we're writing. There's Bev Jones, who is all about working with funnels and marketing in a digital way, but so that you as a leader are backed up completely in the experience of your people, your guests, your audience, is that it's effortless, because we bring in the whole intelligent piece of Aquarian age thinking, which is to do with computer-generated AI, what works for you. Then we're going to have Shay David, who actually is putting together one of the biggest projects I've ever encountered. He realized that in this new era, many skill sets that we've been taught at school or, how we've been trained as apprentices, they're redundant. And a lot of people are just suddenly going to find themselves redundant, that they can't even, get online. They don't understand how to work. So he came up with a solution for all of those people using AI, artificial intelligence, of how to retrain very effectively, very fast, a whole new skill set for this new era. He's an absolute genius. Diana Luna Sampson is going to help me with the opening ceremonies, and in her own right, teaches very much about how to be in tune with nature, with the lunar rhythms, and to work in your business and your harmony and your earth, in daily life, to be working in the right attunement and to be in right, it's a very Tibetan concept, like in right placement with earth. And so you're not looking at greed, you're not looking at over excess. You take what you need, you leave it better than when you arrived. I'm trying to think of the other speakers. Zafira Bell, very in tune with how to align women's deeply divine femininity with their expressions, with their sexuality, and with the whole way that they can release themselves, become fertile, become orgasmic, become expressive, become successful and abundant. Sam Briatico works with women all to do with birth and early childhood. She's a doula. She works with pregnancy yoga, and she herself has had a tough situation where she had a baby die very, very young. And so she had to go into the shadow aspect of birth and look at what are the lessons that we can learn when we get beyond just the superficiality of, oh, you're having a baby and it all works out and it's fine. What about all those other women who it didn't work out fine? And what are the pieces that she can put together with feminine expression? Because that's a very taboo area. And then she also works very much with supporting women through holistic, natural, in tune with Mother Earth birth. Who else? Good grief, there's so many people on this. And every time I speak, I'm just reaching into my mind, and so the ones that come up, and then I can't remember the other ones, and so I have to do another video to talk about the other ones. But I'm inviting you because this is powerful time. We stepped into New Earth last year on the winter solstice of 2020. We're coming up to the first year of New Earth thinking, and we've had tremendous shifts and changes on the planet. I'm very interested in solution-based thinking, and New Earth Visionaries are all about that. They're not really into just complaining about the state of the world. They're into finding all the different ways that they can be like this. So you could be like this, and this is a very good example. It doesn't have to look the same as anybody else. You could be here. You could be one of the little ones going off this direction. You can be behind and as powerful as some of the ones in front who are advocating and speaking, doing a lot of public entertainment kind of influence. And we are all working in harmony. These facets of New Earth, these facets of this crystalline consciousness, sending out solutions in every direction so that we get to produce a golden age. And that's what New Earth really is. It's a golden age. So I invite you to this event. There's a free offer if you just want to see pre-recorded videos. If you want to experience some of the live sessions, like Himalaya, who will be doing an ecstatic dance on the very last day. Then, and I will be doing opening ceremony, so will Christina Molino. Then it's £24 or $33 for you to experience all the lives live. And if you can't be on live, you get the recording. So it's a really interactive session. And also the final thing I would say is if you're interested in networking with these big major thinkers in business, in ceremony, in influence, then consider the networking package, because that is a package where you actually get to work with us for 3 months and move your idea through this dark deepening pre-seed time. You step in with your idea. It may not be formed. We work with you for 3 months to help you form it, and we birth it in the spring. And so it's just a big, fat, juicy invite to you. And see you there. And it starts on October the 30th, which is next Saturday. Hope to see you there.